Good day, emerging mothers. It's Dr. Michelle Lloyd. I hope that all of you are good. Listen, I am doing okay. I was checking my DMs and noticed that some of you all had connected with me. We had yet to do our live last week, and I mentioned that I'm doing okay, and I mentioned that, of course, our live was missed last week because my older sister passed away on November the 26th. And so I just landed here in my hometown of St. Louis. And of course, we're memorializing her on tomorrow. And but I needed to connect and chat with you all, of course, to share with you just a little bit of my just stepping back just a tiny bit because of that occurrence in my life. And part of my grieving process and part of me coping, of course, is me doing a few different things. It's self-care for myself and taking care of myself and spending time with family and friends, and then also spending time alone, reminiscing and reflecting and all of those things that we do in life whenever an occurrence has taken place that is touching or that is impactful. So I'm doing that. And then also, secondly, I have found myself here over the last week, just, as I'm coping with this grief, is just lowering my expectations of myself just a bit. Initially, I'm one to keep a certain kind of pace, and there are certain things I want to get done by a certain date or by a certain time, and projects that I'm looking to complete, and all types of initiatives that I'm looking to launch for 2023, which will get launched. But when I say lowering my expectation, is just possibly going at a slower pace and then picking things back up here in due time, not even setting a date on it, but in due time. And then last but not least, in coping with this grief, I'm making sure that I'm keeping my regular routine. And in me keeping my regular routine, that means me connecting with you all. And so hence me, of course, coming on live again today, and if not on Facebook, then of course I'm on Instagram sharing tips and tools and all types of gems that can be practiced as your teen is preparing to transition out of the home. So again, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram, have been on TikTok, and also have, of course, moved about 90 to 92 of my videos over to my newly launched YouTube channel as well. And just making sure that on LinkedIn and on these Twitter, on these different social media platforms, that you're able to find me and you're able to get some resources and get some information, especially those mothers who have teens who are leaving to go off to the college campus, the military base, or to simply residential independence. Maybe they're just looking to, after high school in 2023 or 2024 or 25 or 26 or any of these years, maybe they're just simply looking for to have their own apartment and work. Even if that's the case, that's still a stretching, if you will. That's still a departure. That's still even a little grief there with the teen leaving home. So on those different social media platforms, you'll be able to find all type of information. So let's jump right into what I want to talk with you all about on today, and that is ways to build trust with your teen. Now, or teens, you all know that when your teens transition out of the home, you want them to be able to reach back to you if in fact there are any questions or concerns, or they're facing a situation, advice. You will most certainly want that trust already to be established. And so how can we establish that trust right here, right now, prior to them leaving, just so that there's that strong bond? And many of you may have strong bonds with your team. By golly, we want it to stay as such. And so we know that in order to make sure that that trust is built between us and our teens, we need to, first and foremost, we need to model it. And many of us are good at modeling this trust that we want built between us and our teens. and we know that it's essential to our relationship. For some of us, we were raised in a household, whereas maybe a mother or a father, there was a trust that was broken, in that upbringing. And so for us to turn around and have a deep or a strong level of trust between us and our teens, then it's sometimes we try to give ourselves a pass or an excuse because that was broken between you and your parent. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, because if that's the case, more so do you want to break that generational curse and to have that trust between you and your teen. It's interesting because I honestly believe that we're not a product of our environment, yet we're a product of our decisions. And so there's some things that have happened in all of our backgrounds, whereas we can say, okay, so this is why I do that, and we give ourselves an excuse. But if what we do is something that we should discontinue doing, all we have to do is make a decision. Whether that's making a decision to just change that behavior within ourselves, maybe that's the decision to get some help, a therapist, or maybe that's a decision to, maybe you're a reader and you learn better by, reading and changing some behavior. Whatever it is worth it in order to have that trust between you and your teens. And so I want to encourage you to please, let's focus and purposefully model that trust that we know our teens need to see, and we know that we would want to carry on even past, them, when they're in college and then they're young adults and they're in their own place. We want that to continue because, again, mothers, we're raising our grandchildren right now. We really are, by the impact and the influence that we have on our teens today. And so I would encourage you, please, mothers, if you will purposely, focus on building that trust and modeling it, then that would make a world of difference. It really, really would. And so also, so that number one, so let's make sure that we're modeling that. And then secondly, I want to encourage us to respect our teens' privacy. I am in conversations with mothers regularly, as you all can imagine. And what I have noticed is that unless there is a reason to inspect what we expect, then to pry and explore and investigate for no reason, it has a tendency of turning our teens in a totally different direction. They see the behavior of mothers or fathers, for all that matters, as being that of distrust. My parents, they do not trust me. Even though I have not given them reason not to, they do not trust me, so I might as well, or why not, or because they don't trust me anyway. Whereas in essence, if we do just the opposite and we respect that privacy and allow that trust to already be there, then really they will continue to want that trust from us and want us to trust them. So they'll continue to do what is needed in order to receive the trust that we want to give them. We want to give them. And so just give that some thought and think through, is my teen trustworthy? So if my teen is trustworthy, why should I take the hinges off of the bedroom door so that I can make sure that I'm seeing all of what they're doing? Why do I have to snoop in their bags and up under their mattresses if I have no reason to believe that they're using drugs or anything along those lines? Now, if there's a reason to investigate, then by all intents and purposes, there's a reason. However, if our teens have given us reason to trust them, for the most part, it really is worth us going the extra mile to demonstrate that trust. And so respecting their privacy, number 2. And then also number 3 is us working with our teens in reference to making good decisions. They're going to be faced with a lot of decisions. I mean, my young adult daughter, 25 years old, super excited. She's out on her own. Many of you all already know I have 3 daughters. The oldest one, of course, graduated from Virginia Tech in engineering. And so she's off on her own, has her own apartment, and is working, and super excited about that. Second daughter, of course, looking to pursue medical school, and so is waiting on a response so that she can continue to have her blinders on and make sure that goal becomes a reality. And then our third daughter, of course, is just knocking them dead on the basketball court. She's a sophomore in high school, and so we have a couple of more years before she's off on the college campus. However, I have tried to gear them towards good decision making by, if in fact there is a matter before them whereas they need to make a decision, then making sure, number 1, that they have explored their options, whatever options those are. And then I have tried to refrain from making decisions for them, but yet sharing with them the pros and the cons of that decision, allowing them to make the decision, of course, and then acting on it. They act on it, and then later on following up with them. To see, how did that work out for you in reference to you, whatever decision it may be. You're choosing this employer over that employer, or you choosing this vehicle over that vehicle. How did that work out? Are you pretty excited about that decision still, or would you have made a different decision, or what have you those are the steps that I would encourage us as mothers to walk our teens through, so that when they're out on their own, they're practicing those same steps. So if in fact they have a matter before then, of course, exploring the options, then, even helping them. It's okay to help them with the pros and the cons, just so they can be able to make an informed decision. And then after that, allowing them to choose. Now, that was the toughest part for me, is allowing them to choose. Because I wanted to say, oh, no, it's answer A. It's answer A. When in essence, if I keep telling them it's answer A or it's answer B, then would they even feel comfortable making their own decision? And what I have learned is that us mothers who make all the decisions for our teens, we just, here, choose this, choose that, choose this, all of that. Then, of course, when it's time for them to make decisions, they're unable to. They're absolutely unable to, because they have yet to be doing it all along. As opposed to practice making perfect. Some people say, oh, practice makes perfect. I think practice makes permanent. And so if we allow them to practice it, and us going through those different steps, whenever they're faced with a decision, then it really does make a difference. It really does make a difference. So that number 3, as it pertains to building trust, because we're able to, we're talking through it with them. We're able to hear how they're going about making their decisions, and what they're considering, what's important to them as it pertains to the different choices that they're making. So that so makes a world of difference. That so makes a world of difference. And then number 4, last but not least, listen. When we see, and this really helps to build that trust, when we see that our teens are, of course, able to, or when we see that they are doing things that need to be applauded, let's make sure that we're applauding them. Let's make sure. Look, they're taking dishes out of the dishwasher, without me even telling them. Listen. I am quick to applaud that. I'm quick to applaud that. Or, oh my goodness, you really did a good job on that kitchen. Oh my God, you are keeping your room clean. That excites me. Look at that bathroom. Oh my goodness, you have become a a cleaning expert up in this house, or I will pour it on to my daughters, whereas they will want to continue to just take care of business each and every time. Doesn't matter what it is. Oh my goodness, those grades, I had no idea you were that good in math. Oh my goodness, I am super excited about that. My goodness, you got the highest grade on what? In the class? On what are you saying? Listen, grab your shoes. We need to go and get a caramel crunch frap. Let's go get it right now. That's my daughter's favorite. So I am all about applauding and rewarding when I see her going above and beyond. Oh my goodness. You scored. You really ended that game with 20 points, Ivana? Like, really? 3 steals, 4 assists? You're rebounding like that? Oh my, like, are you serious? Listen, Dairy Queen has got to be open right now. We have got to go. So I'm just sharing with you that when we applaud them and when we encourage and motivate and all of that, oh my goodness, you're talking about building trust. It will do it every time. So listen, those are my 4 points in reference to building trust. There are so many more. Hit me up in my DMs. We can talk. I can send you my Calendly. We can spend time. I do need to connect back with some others who I know they have reached out, and so I'm going to be working on that. But we will talk, and I will share just some more ideas on how that bond can just be strengthened. And also, you all will most definitely want to get the Transition Success Toolkit, the Transition Success Toolkit. You will want that booklet. It was created by my mastermind team members and myself. It's colorful. It's something that you'll want to sit down and just write in. And then in addition to that, you will get a checklist on a weekly basis where you'll get a checklist at the beginning of the month, and then you will get what we call reflections the second, third, and maybe 4th week of the month, but you will get those as regular emails. So what you'll want to do is launch that website down below or in the caption. Go to our website, and you will want to download or have sent to you that Transition Success Toolkit, the Transition Success Toolkit. It will be just a host of valuable information prior to your teen transition out of the home. I know you will appreciate it. Listen, I love you all. I'm going to just swing back over here with my family. One of them opened the door just moments ago and took a peek in to make sure I was good. And so, but yep, all is well. Love you all so very much. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, same time, in our private Facebook group at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I look forward to seeing y'all then. Take care, be well, and stay safe. Bye.